Hello students, welcome to Unacademy. Just give me a minute so that I can check if we are live. Okay, there's a little bit of a time lag between our sessions, so just give me a minute. Yes, we seem to be live. Just making sure if there is any audibility issue. Okay, yes. So what I'm going to do is, whatever you put up, it will be there here on the chat, our live chat that we have. Okay, I will be watching that time and again in between to see if there are any chats in between. Okay, so give me a minute. Yes. Hello learners, welcome to Unacademy. This is our YouTube channel for Karnataka CT. Okay, our KCT has, no sorry, Unacademy has many channels. This is the specialized channel for Karnataka CT, KCT, and I'm prepping you for KCT 2021. Okay, my name is Nivedita. I am your educator for the day, and today we are dealing on the topic Annelida and Arthropoda. So these are two kingdoms under two phylum under kingdom Animalia. Okay, so we'll be focusing on that today. So if you have watched my previous sessions, you would notice I have been doing this chapter from a few days now, and every day two phyla or three phyla I've been focusing on. Okay, so before we go ahead into our topic coverage, just a little brief for you on Unacademy. Okay, so this is a wonderful platform where you can learn a lot for all your different kinds of competitive exam. So we have different kinds of schemes where we have special classes which are free classes. We have YouTube classes which are free again, but YouTube classes are like half an hour short sessions. We also have plus sessions which is subscribed uh, at a minimal rate, not as costly, because there we do in-depth concept coverage. Okay, so my regular classes are at our platform itself. YouTube, I come once in 3 to 4 days, but my sessions on the app are regular. Every day I have two sessions at least. Okay. So before we go ahead with the topic, I'll just talk to you a little bit about our batch, and then we'll go ahead with the topic coverage. Okay, so we have something called as the comprehensive batch. Now this comprehensive batch, there are 6 batches currently, 3 of which I teach in. We have it in Kannada as well as in English. I take up for English, I take up biology. Okay, so biology is completely looked after by me in the batch system. So we complete your entire syllabus there. So in a span of 8 months, I intend to complete your entire syllabus. Tips and tricks are given to you, topic-wise questions, full-length mocks. Okay, so if you decide to become a plus member, don't forget to enroll in the batch. Okay, and my code is NIVEDITALIVE. Let me tell you more about Plus now. Before we go ahead, I've not put up any images, but I'll navigate you through it. You just have to go to our app, click on Karnataka CT, put your login with your email and your phone number. It will give you an OTP. You can go to Nivedita Nityanand, my profile, follow me. That's all. Okay. Uh, Special classes, you keep getting information whenever I'm live, your free classes. Okay, I usually tell you about plus classes there as well, how to go through. But just if you really like these sessions, you can, if you're interested in directly going for plus, that is also there. So premium content at affordable rates, structured live classes, one doubt clearing session we have, which is very wonderful because every chapter we have two doubt clearing sessions. So any doubts you have, you can just put it up. Any image you have, you can just post it, and we will be helping you out with how to work out that kind of a problem or how to solve your doubt. Okay, all that we focus into. We have quizzes. Now this depends on the educator. Like some people put every week, some people put twice in a month. So that depends. But we do have quizzes. Okay, we have batches. No, batches, I already told you, I take up biology for the batch. Test series we have daily practice problems, full length mocks we have. Okay, single subscription for unlimited access. Now ye bahut acha hai. Why? I'll tell you, because I usually tell my 2021 aspirants to go for the 12-month plan. Seems long, but I'll tell you why. Our monthly plan is 2,250, but if you take the 12-month plan and put my code at the live, that is, it will give you at 1,031 per month. Now 2,250, where is it? And 1,031, and this is not again for one educator. Every educator subject concept you can get. Okay, you like somebody's class, you can go to their class, right? Also, not just one subject, all the subjects, PCMB. Now, where on earth will you get in India if you check um, PCMB also, plus many educators in one place for 1031. So, this is our place, okay? It is Nivedita Live, that is my this thing code. Why am I telling you to put my code is, when you put the code, it will show you all these values. Okay, otherwise it shows you the base price. If you put somebody's code, any educator's code, it will show you the value. My code is Nivedita Live. So if you remember Nivedita Live, put it up. Okay, Nivedita Live is NIVEDITA LIVE. Okay, that is my code. So let us start off with the topic, I think. Let me see if there are anybody in the chat. Um, if you're watching this as a recording, so don't worry. You can put some messages up at the comment section. That is your live chat section. Comment section. I think that time live chat won't be there. I will definitely respond to it. Also, it would be better to see you at my regular session, so that we have a messaging board. You can message me if you have any doubts or questions. Okay, so that also is fine. At our description box below, all the links are provided. Whichever link you want, you would have to download the app. The link is there. Even subscription link also is there. So you can go down and check all the different links that are there. Okay. Let us start off with today's topic. It is Annelida and Arthropoda. So two phylum we are dealing with it. I'm your educator, Nivedita. So let us start with Annelida. Now, Annelida, the word annus. So what happens here? We are talking about this word here. That is annulus. Okay, annulus matlab ring like. Well, it is here. See here. Annulus means little ring. So if you see closely, can you see ring-like structures? This is an earthworm, okay, peritima. Can you see ring-like structures? Each one of them. So that is why we call them as Annelida. Okay, their characteristic feature of them is the fact that they have ring-like segments. Okay, now we'll deal about what it is called. Before that, I have to tell a few things. When we talk about any phyla, the first thing we talk about is its habitat. So here the habitat can be either aquatic or terrestrial. Now, aquatic matlab it can either be marine, it can be freshwater, both is included in this phylum. Similarly, terrestrial, again they can be on land. Now, most of them are free living. We find a lot of them to be free living. That means they can survive on their own. Sometimes parasitic. Now, some of them, maybe some part of their life, or depending, they're not completely obligate parasites, you can say per se, but some part of their life, majority, you would see in case of leech, they are parasitic. Parasitic in the sense, they depend on a host for its food, for its nutrition. Okay, so some other organism it depends upon for its nutrition. I will keep checking the live chat in between. So if you have anything to say, you can put it up there. Okay, so again, when we're talking about any organism, we also do talk about their system, their organ system level, and how their body is structured, right? So here, organ system of body organization. Now, remember, we were talking about different systems in one of my previous sessions. I told you about body can be just as cell aggregates, so sponges, porifera was that. Then it can be, depends again, it can be, oh, give me a minute. My session seems to be lost. Okay, yeah. So it can be sometimes if you're talking about organ system level, like yeah, if you're talking about different organization, cellular level, it can be tissue level, like in case of Coelenterata, it can be organ level, that is in case of Platyhelminthes. Now we have gone Ascalminthus, we saw organ system level. So here also it is organ system level. Organ system matlab the tissues have formed organs, and many of these organs, some of them have come together to form a system. So there are many organ systems, like how we have digestive system, reproductive system, excretory system, so on and so forth. The body has many different kinds of organ systems. Okay. Yeah. So that is about body organization. Then we have symmetry. When we talk about symmetry, there are two kinds. If you remember, radial symmetry means any plane you cut, it will give two equal halves. But bilateral symmetry means only along one plane. So if this is the plane, only along this plane you can cut the organism to right and left half, right? So similarly, even in this case, you can cut along only this line. Sorry, 1 minute. So you can cut along only this line here at the center. Okay, that will give you two equal halves. Okay, it will give you entire organism. You can cut it into two equal halves. So that is why we call it as a bi. Matlab do lateral. Andre akade side. Okay, lateral. Okay, so these are the two features you should remember. This thing seems to be pausing. Just give me a minute. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience, but this is how I have to keep track when it comes to our IT channel. There seems to be some discrepancies. I'm wondering why. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I will be continuing. Let us see. Yeah. Okay. If you have anything to say, don't forget put it on the live chat. Now, uh, now we'll talk about the blasting. We're talking about layers, right? If you know how the germ layers are arranged. So we had already spoken about how diploblasty, matlab two layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm. Then we spoke about ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoglia. Now, from Ascalminthus onwards, we said they are triploblastic. What do you mean by triploblastic? That means there are three layers, triplo, right? That means there are three layers. So, ectoderm, endoderm, and the middle there is mesoderm. So, all those layers you should focus on. Okay, and then they are coelomate. Coelomate, what's up? Eucoelomate here. Eucoelomate means if you have ectoderm, you have endoderm. Okay, in the middle there is mesoderm, right? Now this mesoderm will split. Okay, it will split into two halves. So there is mesoderm next to the ectoderm and there is mesoderm next to the endoderm. In the middle there is a cavity. Now that cavity which is lined by the mesoderm is called as coelom. So it is true coelomate here. Okay, eucoelomate. Now then this is what I wanted to talk about, metamerically segmented. Okay, now if you see, I was talking, we can call it as annulus, right? So here if you see each segment here, the body is made up of repetitive segments. Each segment we call it as metamer, okay, or a metamere. So each segment is called as a metamer. Now together, that is why we call this system as metamerism. Okay, this kind of situation it is called as metamerism, where the body is arranged into different segments. Okay, and each segment resembles the other. So further, if you're talking about Annelida itself, peritima is one of the example. Lumbricus lumbricoides and peritima postuma. Okay, so these are the two examples. And an earthworm in case of India. Okay, in India you will find them as these two. So if you see, longitudinal and circular muscles are there. So have you seen how earthworm moves? Okay, it moves this way. That is because of longitudinal and circular muscles. The muscles contract and relax so it can move forward. Okay. Excuse me. That is not the only form of locomotion. That is the form of locomotion for our earthworm. Okay. Also, for it to attach, there's something called as setae. Okay, it has something called as setae in each of its part of its body. Each segment you would almost see it. Almost each segment, not all. In the first segment, last segment, you don't see it. In the clavicular region also, you don't see it. So, so that is about your circular muscles. Other than that, if they have other appendages. So, for example, aquatic animal here like nereis. Can you see the nereis here? Okay, in case of nereis, if you see, just give me a minute. There seems to be some kind of time lag or okay. Yeah. So if you see nereis in this case, can you see these appendages over here? Each of these are external from the body, extensions from the body. Now these appendages we call as parapodia. It helps nereis in swimming. Okay, it helps nereis in swimming. Since it is aquatic, it needs to swim. Okay, so that is about the locomotory structures. Then if you're talking about excretory structures, now excretory structure here is called as nephridia. It is called as nephridia. Now, previously, if you remember, we've had flame cells, we've had excretory pore. Okay, ever since organs had come into picture. So here it is nephridia. It is for both osmoregulation as well as excretion. Neural system, obviously, it has its own neural system. Here it has paired ganglia. Okay, ganglia are knots of nerve cells and lateral and double nerve cords. So if this is the length of the organism, okay, it would have ganglia, two ganglia, and each of them would be connected by a nerve cord. So that those nerve cords are lateral to each other and they are double ventral. They are on the ventral side. Okay, they are on the ventral side. So that's why we call them as double ventral. Okay. Next, when we talk about reproduction, we also talk if they are monoecious or dioecious. Okay, dioecious matlab you can differentiate into male and female. That means the male organs are in one organism, the female reproductive organs are in another organism. So dioecious. On the other hand, we also have monoecious ones. That means male and female organs are in the same organism. For example, earthworm and leeches. Okay, male and female structures, reproductive structures are on the same organism in case of monoecious. Then we have reproduction to be sexual kind of reproduction. Okay, so here we have another example of Carotinaria, which is a parasitic form, leech. Okay, a parasitic form. It has a blood meal. Can you see it is having a blood meal? And you can see each of the metameres also. Each of the metameres are also visible. Okay, that is all about Annelida. This is a short class, that's why the explanation is crisp and to the point. Okay. Yes. Hello, Nityanand. Welcome to the session. Yeah. So, like I said, it's crisp and short. Obviously, in-depth classes I do take up at the platform, at our Unacademy platform. So, I'm talking about Arthropoda now. Arthropoda is the largest phylum because it is the most number of species, variety of species it has. Okay, 2/3 of all the named species are currently named species are arthropods. Okay, so they obviously have organ system level because we are going according to their evolutionary basis. I finished Annelida, next comes Arthropoda. It is better there. Okay, so organ system, bilateral symmetry similar to that one. Okay, triploblastic, ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm, and this mesoderm has a split in between. So there's a cavity. So the coelom, that cavity that we call as coelom, it is lined by mesoderm. Okay, it has to be, otherwise it's just any other cavity. Then body is segmented, so you can segmentize it from into head, thorax, and abdomen. You can see head, thorax, and abdomen, and also presence of jointed appendages. Now this name is because of jointed appendages. Arthro means jointed. Poda means legs. Okay, poda means legs. Arthro means jointed. Okay, so jointed appendages are there. That's why we call it that way. Chitinous exoskeleton. So if you remember cockroach, doesn't it have this brown, shiny, if you pour water also nothing will happen to it, strong covering, outer covering, that is called, that is made up of chitin. So it is outside the body, it holds the body within, gives it a structure, so that is why it is the exoskeleton. Okay, respiratory organ now varies because Arthropoda is such a large phyla. It has a lot of phylum. It has a lot of different kinds of structure. So some of them like prawn and all have gills. Okay, then you have these king crabs. If you might have seen, I'll show you an image of it. They have book gills. Okay, then spiders and all have book lungs because they are terrestrial forms. Then we have tracheal system. So it has usually, if you look at the organism, it would have spiracles that is opening at the appendage and they would form a network-like structure. Okay, they would form a network-like structure within the body for the organism to respire. Okay. For the organism to respire, you will be able to see spiracles as well. It is a branch system, not so direct. It is a branched system. Okay. Circulation is open type. That means that your blood, that is hemolymph here in this case, we call it hemolymph, because it is not bound within blood vessels. Therefore, it is open type. And then excretion is malphizian tubule. So I told you previously it was nephridia. Here we have shifted to malphizian tubule. So these are fine filamentous yellow 100 and 150 filaments you see. When we are talking a little bit about cockroach in one of our next sessions, I'll talk about it. Sensory organs, they have special. Some of them have antennas. Most of them have antennas. Eyes can either be simple eyes or compound eyes. Compound eyes are where there are many simple eyes together to help in visualization. Statocysts are for balancing. Okay, so these aquatic organisms require to balance themselves. Therefore, statocysts are there. Fertilization is internal and it is oviparous. That means it lays eggs. Okay, it lays eggs. Development, in some cases it's direct, young one only is formed. In some cases a larval form or a nymph form. Here we have the term of nymph. Okay, so nymph formation can also occur. So nymph actually resembles the adult form a lot, uh, but it does not. It is not sexually developed, nor does it have wings most of the time. Then examples, let me give before I go to the MCQs. You can see these economically important ones like apis, which is honeybee, gives us honey and wax. We have bombyx. Now this bombyx mori, that is your silk moth. The moth is not of importance for us. It is the larval form. We take its cocoon. Okay, we take the cocoon of the larva. So therefore, that is important. This is bombyx mori. Then we have lac insect, lacifer. Okay, lac insect gives lac, which can be used for a lot of, it's like a resin. Okay, we can use it for a lot of, from making bangles to structural stuff we can make with it. Cosmetics also can be made. So one example, if you have watched Mahabharata, you would see the Lakshagraha. It was made from lac. Okay, then vectors. We have some vectors. Vectors are the ones which carry diseases, right? We have Aedes, Anopheles, and Culex. All the females carry disease. So Aedes would be for chikungunya and dengue. Anopheles would carry malarial parasite. Culex would be for filariasis. So these are different disease-carrying vectors. Then we have pests. So locust. So this is causing a huge this issue in northern part of our country, right? So locusts, a lot of locusts have been swarming and destroying all the agricultural products. So we have locusta, which comes under this. And I told you this is a living fossil. Limulus, I told you about king crab, book gills, I told you, right? So this shows book gills. This is limulus. It is horseshoe crab. We also call it as the king crab. So this has been there for millions of years without modifications, much modifications. Okay, it's also a living fossil. So with this concept coverage is short and crisp, I finished it. I will go to a few MCQs and then we will wrap up the session. Okay. So MCQs. If you are available for answering, you can put it at the chat box. If you're watching as a recording, obviously not. One plus point is in our white Unacademy sessions, we give you a poll. So you just have to click on A, B, C, D or E if it is there, or true or false. Okay, we give you options and you can click on that. Okay, let me start off. You can put it in the comment section. Obviously, there's a time lag between when you type and when I get to see it. Yeah, the first one. The biggest phylum in regard to number of species is Arthropoda, Platyhelminthes, Chordata, Protozoa. You can go ahead and answer. So in this case, it is excuse me. In this case, it is Arthropoda. Okay, we are talking about the phylum, right? The biggest phylum is based on how many species it has. Okay, so the highest number of species you see in Arthropoda, the second highest you see in case of mollusca, which we'll study in the coming session, probably on the 16th. Okay, so Arthropoda is the highest number, but the biggest organism is under chordata, under mammals. That is our blue whale. Okay, there has been no organism bigger than that. Okay, so that amongst the structures, answer here is Arthropoda. Next one, suctorial mouth occurs in butterfly, leech, tania, tania solium, that is tapeworm, and cockroach. So what would be the answer here? Yes, so no problem. Here it is, if you see butterfly, it has a suctorial, we won't say it's suctorial mouth because its mouth is not suctorial, it has a long hypopharynx-like structure. The mouth is of sucking type, it is not a suctorial mouth. Tania, if you remember the structure, I showed you it has hooks and suckers, but that is only for attachment. It is not for taking food. Okay, taking food happens through body surface for your tapeworm. Not cockroach also. Cockroach is biting type. So here it is leech. So leech has a suctorial mouth. Its mouth has three wedges like teeth-like structure where it will attach and the mouth will suck out the blood from the animal or human being. Closed blood vascular system, liver cells in the blood, chitinous setae or parapodia. These are characteristics of arthropoda, nematoda, annelida, none of these. Yes, Nityanand. I see an answer, but I'm unaware if it is of the previous question because it took time. Okay, no problem. Yes. So, closed vascular system. Amongst the two that I spoke about, closed vascular system, okay, liver cells, all these are special features. Setae and parapodia. Now, these clearly will tell you that it is under annelida. So, setae you see in case of earthworm, parapodia you see in case of nereis. Therefore, they come under annelida. Okay, they come under annelida. Next one. What is common among silverfish, scorpion, crab and honeybee? Compound eyes, poison glands, jointed legs, metamorphosis. Now here if you see, obviously I would usually give time between the sessions, but since I don't see as many answers, I'm going ahead. So if you see over here, a silverfish, now this is not a fish, okay? If you see some old books, if you open them up after some time, you would see there's a small silver-like creature, very small insect, which just goes off suddenly. You're not able to catch hold of it. That is called as a silverfish, not a fish actually. Okay, silverfish is not a fish. It is actually an insect, arthropod. Okay. Scorpion, you know, under arthropoda, crab also comes under arthropoda and honeybee also. So what is specific amongst them is, some of them have compound, some of them simple, so you can't put that. Poison glands are not there in the entire arthropoda, right? In some it is there. Metamorphosis also, somewhere there is indirect development, metamorphosis is there. But this direct development, can there be metamorphosis? No. So the fact that they all are together is because they are all arthropodans. Arthro means jointed, poda means legs. So they all have jointed legs no matter what. So they come under jointed legs, arthropoda. Okay. Next one. Peritima postuma and periplaneta are similar with which aspect? Both have nephridia as excretory organs. Both have ventral nerve cord. Both belong to the same taxonomical group. All of the above. Okay, so here if you see, what is peritima? Earthworm. Right? Similarly, what is periplaneta? This is cockroach. Now, cockroach is under arthropoda, peritima is under annelida, right? Your earthworm is under annelida. So, nephridia you would see in case of earthworm. Under cockroach, it is malphizian tubule. So, this is definitely not it. Okay, taxonomical group also not through all of the above, definitely not. So, this is the answer where I told you they have ganglia in each segment and they're with a long cord. Two cords are there. That is nerve cord. It is on the ventral side of the body, on the front of the body you see. Okay. So it is a B. Next one. Cephalothorax is found in arthropoda, annelida, nematoda and mollusca. Okay, so when it comes to such questions, you should remember, I always tell my students, split the word. To understand some terminology, you must always split the word. Cephalo, matlab head. Thorax you already know, right? So cephalothorax are those where the head and the thorax have fused. In some arthropoda you would see it. Okay, in some arthropoda you see that it is fused. For example, your the entire arachnida family, that is your spiders, your ticks, okay, lice, all of them come under cephalothorax. Even your what is that? Limulus, that is your king crab, also comes under cephalothorax. Okay, and also our have the head and the thorax fused together. Next one. Which of the following the segmentation is best represented? Ascaris, fish, leech, scorpion. Where do you see segmentation? You see only in 3 phylum. You see in Annelida, you see in Arthropoda, and you see in Chordata also. Okay, but the best one amongst all of them is Annelida, where it shows the segmentations very neatly. So here, which is Annelida here? Hirudinaria, that is leech, is Annelida. Which of the following is not an insect? Cockroach, tick, beetle, wasp. Whenever I put this question, I've noticed students get very confused. Remember, do not confuse insect with arthropod. No, insect is a part of arthropod. All arthropods are not insects. Okay, all arthropods are not insects, but all insects are arthropods. Okay, so it is a class. So you have phylum, right? Kingdom, phylum, then you have class, right? So arthropod here is the phylum, and under arthropoda we have the class, that is insecta. There are many classes. Okay, one of the class arachnida. So there are other classes. One of the classes insecta. So all which come under insecta are insects. The rest of them are not insects. Okay, so here cockroach is an insect, beetle is an insect, wasp is also an insect. Tick is not an insect. It comes under arachnida. It comes with the spiders, lice. Okay, in that group it comes. So where your scorpion, all that comes in the same group. So tick comes under that. Tick is usually a parasitic form. It takes blood meal from animals. Okay, so that is an example. You have A, B, and C. You have to choose the correct option given here. Okay, so this is clearly, I'm going ahead. This is clearly Ascaris, right? Here you can clearly see this is Nereis, and this is clearly the leech. Sorry, the spelling, the leech, right? So Ascaris, is this male or female? Because they have differentiated here. Is this male or female? Can you see it is long and its tail is not curved? It is long and its tail is not curved. Therefore, it is a female, right? Therefore, it is a female. Nereis is clear. This leech, they have not written anywhere. Instead, they have written its scientific name. Scientific name for leech is Hirudinaria. Okay, so it has to be female, Nereis and Hirudinaria. So female Ascaris, Nereis as well as Hirudinaria. Okay, next one. Last question for the day. An insect regarded as a great mechanical carrier of diseases is Pediculus, Cymex, Massa and Xenopsilla. So, what do you mean by mechanical carrier of diseases? Some of them are vectors. So, what do vectors do? They will, while having a blood meal or something of that sort, they will consume this organism, disease-causing organism. It will be in its body and it will take, and when it's having a blood meal, by chance it will transfer. Mechanical carriers are those which, on the body of which only a lot of disease-carrying agents are there. So, if that organism even sits on you, right, or on food, it will transmit a lot of unwanted diseases into the food material or on the person. Okay, so amongst this, which are the two that you can remember of such organisms? One is cockroach, the other one is housefly, right? The housefly also is extremely great at carrying mechanical carrier for diseases. So that's why we don't want maki. We don't want them to even sit on our food, not or on us, because of the same reason that it can cause issues. So here, pediculus is lice, head lice. Okay, Cymex is a bed bug. So you know there are bugs sometimes that come on your beds of bed bugs. Massa is your housefly. Xenopsilla is fleas. So if you have seen your dogs having fleas, so that is Xenopsilla. That also is a mechanical carrier, but the greatest one. So it is Xenopsilla does not affect humans as much. Massa affects a lot of organisms. That's why that is the greatest mechanical carrier. So that comes under here. Your housefly is Musca. So with that, we are done with today's session. If you like the session, don't forget to give it a like at the near the description box. You know where it is. Okay. I would also suggest you to come to my sessions. Maybe special sessions you can try if you like, because they're free sessions, right? If you really like them, then we can think about you joining Plus. Okay. If you want to join Plus directly, you can use my code, that is NIVEDITALIVE, NIVEDITALIVE. Okay. We also have batches. Now these batches may I take up biology. Okay, for the English set of batches, 3 batches are there. In that I take up biology. Okay, so I hope to see you at my sessions at Unacademy. So this is me signing off. This is Nivedita signing off. I will see you at my next session. Till then, happy learning. Stay safe. Stay focused. Bye bye.